How's it going, guys? Total surprise. I cut my hair. It's called the quarantine cut. Oh, man. Spilled coffee on my keyboard. Hey, everybody. What's up? My name's Brad. You already know that. I hope everyone's doing well. I am. I'm doing great. Shaved my head. It's hot outside. Darren, I am also wearing shorts, so I'm feeling pretty good. Once the shorts go on, once the shorts are on, they literally don't ever come off. I mean, I wash them, come on, but I don't put pants on. This is coming across really weird. Once the shorts are part of my wardrobe, I put the jeans away literally until like November. I just can't. I can't. Even if it's cold outside, if it's rainy and it's like -5 Celsius, I mean, it doesn't get that cold in the summertime, but if it gets chilly, still wear the shorts. Just can't do it. It's a mindset thing. How's it going, everyone? Let's see who's here. We got Aaron. Good to see you, Aaron. I'm happy to see that you made it today. Michael, greetings as well. Lindsay, good to see you. Darren is back in black and wearing shorts. Brandy, hello. And Monique. Darren, you shaved the sides of your head and kept the top. Can you please send a picture right now? Like picture, Dropbox, iCloud link, I don't know, anything. Just even if I have to opt in to view it, I want to see it. Very 28 days, Brad. Yeah, I cut my own. I mean, so normally I cut my own hair. No, that's a total lie. I used to cut my own hair because I was super cheap and I didn't want to pay like $25 for a haircut. But then I thought, nah, it's probably good to cut my hair so I look at least presentable. But I got pretty good at cutting my own hair for a while there. And I legitimately mean that. Like I know how to blend pretty well, even though I have to like do the weird mirror thing where you're like, ugh. And I do a pretty good job. I can clean up the sides, tighten up the top, comb it over, and no one's the wiser. But my hair was getting really unruly, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to give myself a little cut. Just tighten it up. It wasn't working. It wasn't working at all. And truth be told, in the summertime, I like shaving my head anyway. So here we are. Very 28 days later, says Michael. Nice cut, man. Spitting everywhere, spilling coffee everywhere. Okay. So today's gonna be fun. I think we got some good stuff to cover. We got some cool questions. I'm hoping. Please ask me questions. Otherwise, what are we doing here? And we've got some questions lined up. Don't worry about it. But what I actually want to do today is, first of all, say it's National Honesty Day, at least in the United States. But I mean, whatever. It's National Honesty Day, which is odd because why do we need a day to be honest? But you know how it is. So I can't pass this opportunity up. When I saw that it was National Honesty Day, I was like, no, okay, this is my opportunity to use this and to take advantage of a national day for my own marketing efforts. And so I wanted to let everybody know about marketinghonestly.com, which is my new website, podcast, blog, kind of my brand, my new brand that I'm going to be moving everything to. Somehow, not sure how, but it's going to be how I focus everything. It's going to be where my main central hub is. So bradhussey.ca, probably going to remain there, but I'm going to simplify it. All the blog posts and content I've written over the years will remain there, and all that will be set up. But everything, I'm going to try to retroactively apply these principles of ethical and honest marketing. Not that I'm a totally dishonest marketer, but I've definitely used dishonest marketing tactics in the past because, well, everybody does, but that's no reason why you should. And so I'm just kind of coming clean and going, well, I'm going to do this different. I'm coming clean. 1 up the sides, 3 on the top. And wanting to do things more ethically, which is countercultural. It's not really the norm. The norm is to just try and get rich fast, live for yourself, and try and make everything about yourself, especially in business. How good can you look? How much money can you make? How many figures can you add onto your income reports and all that sort of stuff? So anyway, I'm going to use this as a way to let people know that marketing honestly is officially a thing. The website's not live yet, but the landing page to opt into the podcast is live. So marketinghonestly.com. Total shameless plug, but that's my thing now. So Marketing Honestly is. And I'm officially, now that I've let a lot of people know about this, it's what I'm going to be doing. Freelancing freedom will remain a thing. It will remain my focus because I have so many people on board. I have lots of clients and students and customers in here, and I'm really happy to be a part of this. And plus, it's a major income source for me, so I'm not an idiot. Also, it's Freelancing Freedom and the launch program and my community here that has helped me realize, by being a part of it, that I want to be the most honest and ethical marketer I could possibly be. And I want to pass that on and show people that they can build honest businesses, even if it's the slower method, even if it's not going to make you the big revenue numbers that everybody out there seems to say that you can make. So I want to do it clean. I want to do it right. And it just makes me feel better about coming down to work. And so anyway, I'm starting to ramble. I've recorded 4 episodes of the podcast, and I think I'm liking it. So what I want to do actually is I'm going to actually share episode number 1. So the episodes aren't live yet. I just signed up for. I'm going to be publishing it soon, but I want to strategically do it so that it has a bang. And of course, I'm going to humble myself and ask you guys, once it's live, if you could leave a review, do the things, the subscribes, the shares, the reviews. I'm pretty sure when you do that on iTunes, it helps, especially at the first stage of a podcast, to bump it up in the category. And unfortunately, I kind of have to categorize the podcast in the business and marketing category, which is like a highly competitive space. I considered putting it in like the comedy category, like in the secondary comedy category, or it's hard because I want it to be actual. I want it to reach the right people, and I want the people who are looking for business and marketing podcasts to see a more of an ethical and honest approach rather than how can we make tons of money as fast as possible by manipulating people's emotions. Aaron, Anchor? Is it Anchor? I'm actually going to be using. I fully considered using Anchor.fm, which I still recommend for people to check out for setting up a podcast, but I'm actually going to be using Transistor.fm. And the reason why I'm using them is because one of the founders is Canadian, so supporting local, I guess you could say. But specifically, it's a podcast distribution platform and hosting tool that the people who are using it, and a lot of the people who are using it and the founders are in line with the principles that I'm trying to achieve at Marketing Honestly. Honest business, making a living doing something that you love that is actually of service to somebody else, not making a big deal out of your life on social media, just like kind of doing it right. And I like that. And so there's a lot of people who do that with Transistor. And so the makers of Transistor are Canadian and are in line with my principles with marketinghonestly.com. And so Transistor.fm added the first episode. But what I'm going to do for you guys right now, while I top up my coffee, or I don't know, maybe I'll just hang out here and listen with you, I'm going to share the first episode. Now, it's only like 6 minutes. All of the podcast episodes, I plan for them to be anywhere between 3 to 10 minutes. So super short form, because I don't have the attention span of, oh, look, a squirrel. Just kidding, it's my dog. Here, you stand right there. You'll be the mascot. Do not fall off the desk. You'll make me look like an animal abuser. So, yeah. I forgot what I was saying. I totally forgot what I was saying. Short form. It's a short form podcast. I don't have the attention span for long form podcasts. I don't have the time for it. I just don't want to do that. takes me a long time to edit my podcasts. I'm trying to make them funny, trying to make them weird. I'm trying to implement a lot of my personality into it as well, like what you'd expect from my courses and stuff like that. So I edit them. Like I go through and I edit them. I add stingers. I add weird, backgrounds. I do impressions. It's kind of like a variety business show slash, who let Brad do that sort of thing. So, okay, I'll let you down. Sorry, girl. I know. I used you for entertainment. Sorry. Okay, anyway, I'm just going to play it. Hopefully you like it. Hey, my friend, welcome to Marketing Honestly, a podcast that attempts to answer the question, can you make a good living as an online marketer without sacrificing your integrity, values, and faith? Or are internet-powered entrepreneurs simply destined for sketchy sales tactics, false scarcity, and hypey marketing in order to succeed? I believe it's possible to build ethical and sustainable online businesses that place people before profit and service above sales. My name is Brad Hussey, and I'm on a mission to make honest marketing the best marketing. So today is National Honesty Day, at least at the time of this recording, which is April 30th. I'd prefer if we didn't need a day to remind ourselves to be honest, but alas, we do. Anyway, I simply could not miss this opportunity to announce something that I've been working very hard on, and it's this podcast. It's called Marketing Honestly. It's my new website and podcast all about providing radically honest and transparent marketing guidance for the everyday entrepreneur who wants to learn how to build an ethical online business, free from shady tactics and hypey marketing. You see, I really love the online business space. There are some really good people doing great things that place service before sales and people before profit. But there's also an ugly underbelly to online business, which is full of greed, selfishness, and a rat race to riches, dishonesty, and using the powers of marketing to bamboozle people out of their livelihoods. And in a world obsessed with shortcuts and pursuing convenience, people legitimately believe they can start a business overnight, get rich quick, and live a life of weightlessness and luxury, which makes the job of the charlatan very easy.
You see, look at all these poor, unhappy people desperately seeking purpose. By golly, I've got it. I'll sell them the dream of a better life.
I mean, if you open your eyes, you can see it everywhere. The ads, the tactics, the pop-up guru of the week, the proprietary methods. I mean, what happened to the good old-fashioned entrepreneur who worked his arse off, faced uncertainty, and thrived on it, shouldered the risk that his mates wouldn't dare attempt? He talked to real people with real problems so he could set out to make their lives better by serving them. That person knows humility, grit, and failure, and doesn't brag about it. Where did he go? The world killed him and replaced him with a shiny veneer that looks good on Instagram, who is afraid of hard work, failure, and associates service as merely the last word in the acronym SaaS.
That means software as a service, dude.
And there are no solutions for sale. Instead, we're being sold a lifestyle, the appeal of entrepreneurship, and the shortcut to a comfortable life.
How to start a six-figure coaching business overnight, even if you have no skills. How I made 7 figures with online courses, and you can too, even if you're as dumb as a doorknob. I was poor and unhappy once, but then my accelerator program made me $32,000 while I was sleeping, and how you can launch your very own accelerator program too.
The worst part? We're buying it. All of it. Everyone is a coach now, selling high-ticket courses and frantically posting about their success in hopes that the universe will manifest it for them.
All you gotta do is just put it out there, and it just comes back. I promise, it really does work.
We even have coaches coaching coaches.
All right, you dimwits, the name's Coach Hussey, and I'm here to coach you to be a better coach.
Entrepreneurship has somehow become a cannibalistic creature that is starting to eat itself. It's time to resurrect the real entrepreneur, the true lady or gentleman who is willing to work hard, be honest, and humble themselves to serve, solve problems, and provide for their families and communities, forging forward with full knowledge that they may fail. But that person needs help, because the internet-powered entrepreneur needs to wade through the charlatans, fake gurus, and never-ending temptations to use unethical marketing tactics in order to get ahead, because it's easier to do that. And that's my mission at Marketing Honestly, to provide radically honest and transparent marketing guidance for the everyday entrepreneur who wants to build a sustainable online business that doesn't sacrifice their ethics and values. And I'm forging forward knowing full well that it could fail and that nobody will care about my message of honest hard work. It's not sexy. It doesn't look good on Instagram. I have no lifestyle to sell. I won't show you my house, income reports, or my vehicles in order to emotionally manipulate you into believing I'm your savior. Moving forward, this will be my primary focus, and Marketing Honestly will be my hub that ties everything that I do together. And I'm going this new direction because I'm guilty of so many of these marketing sins in the past, and I simply cannot do it anymore. I've seen far too many people duped by unethical marketing, compelling sales copy, dishonest tactics, and buying into the fallacy of a better life on the other side of the paywall. I've got my work cut out for me as I retroactively apply these new principles to my body of work and to ensure that I'm not a complete hypocrite. But the purpose of this is to serve you. Marketing Honestly will contain an abundance of free content, podcast episodes, no fluff guides, and straightforward tutorials about high-value skills that will help you ethically grow your business. And yes, I will also sell products and services to support the business and my family. But you can rest assured that they will be authentic, tactical, honest, and affordable. So to my everyday entrepreneurs, on this National Honesty Day, let us pursue the authentic and less attractive path of ethical entrepreneurship. God bless you. Well, friends, that's it for today. Thanks for the chat. If you like what I'm doing here at Marketing Honestly, you can show your support by subscribing to the show, leaving a review, sharing with a friend, or heading to marketinghonestly.com for more radical ways to build an ethical online business without the hype. Thank you for listening. My name is Brad Hussey, and remember, honesty is the best marketing. All right, so what do we think about that? How does that sound? How was that for you folks? I see some very kind comments. I've got lots of laughs. This is good, says Michael. Thank you. Monique says, good job. Aaron says, dude, this is awesome. Good to see you, Harold. And Aaron says, I love it. You guys are kind. Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. I'm excited about it. It's kind of fun. Doing this direction. I just think a podcast would be a really good way to spread the message. And I've never done a podcast before, so I'm curious to see how it'll work for, say, traffic generation with this new area, this new direction. I don't know. I'm excited about it. I don't know what to say about it. Let's see what you guys got. Brad, I'm so happy you're making this podcast. I've always associated your name with a brand of authenticity and honesty, so I'm glad you're sharing it in the podcast world. I appreciate that, Aaron. Thanks, brother. Alea sneaks in the back, waves to all. I saw you come in late, but it's totally okay. Shows integrity throughout, says Monique. Awesome. Well done. I really appreciate that. That's so cool. I'm glad it came across. That's the first anyone has ever heard that. I literally exported it before lunch, so a couple hours ago, and I thought I'm going to share it with everyone. And then, yeah, basically after this, I'm going to hit publish, and pretty soon it'll be on, on all the places, Spotify, iTunes, wherever else podcasts are. Michael says, Brad, are you creating the website with a membership structure? Good question. If you're referring to marketinghonestly.com, I've got some ideas for monetization. Not going to be much different from what I'm doing right now, but maybe it is gonna be different. I'm not sure. At its core, my main focus is freelancing freedom still runs. I've got, email funnels and, email courses and an ad running for it right now. So that's fine and dandy, but what I'm going to be doing is Marketing Honestly will be first, like a blog podcast where I use this as a way to add my personality, add my take, and give stuff for free that you would pay, like thousands of dollars for. That's kind of my way of trying to deleverage some of the dishonest tactics that are out there. So a lot of people think that they need to pay tons and tons and tons of money to, buy a certain course from a certain coach or guru or something like that in order to access certain information. I don't agree. But I also think that as somebody who teaches people marketing and online business and courses, I'm in that space. So I could very well go the unethical route and put a high ticket price on it and, drive home sales, read some sales books, learn how to persuade you, learn how to manipulate your emotions and cognitive biases and all this sort of stuff. I know all of it. I know how all of it works. I'm just not okay with it. And so I want to create articles and thoughts that are my kind of just like stream of thoughts, sort of poetic, weird, does this make sense? Does it not sort of take on how I write stuff? And then also more structured guides. So long form, a few guides, which are essentially tutorials. So some of them might be text-based. Some of them might be like actual tutorial videos where I'll do a screen recording sort of tutorial, say through like maybe about copywriting or maybe about, using ConvertKit. And then the third piece of that would be the podcast and the articles / blog are going to mirror each other. So the content on the podcast is going to be repurposed with content as blogs. So I usually write them first and use that as a script to run with, and then I play with it in the podcast episode. But then the third piece, so we got content, guides, and then products, which will be the way I monetize. So that'll be a course. So this Freelancing Freedom, I might just change it to be called Launch and not talk about Freelancing Freedom and just kind of shift it and try and integrate it into the brand. I'm not entirely sure. I might just keep it standalone as Freelancing Freedom Launch. That's just thoughts that I'm kind of running through my head right now. I don't think it's that necessary to worry about, but that'll be a product. And I'll just make sure I go through that. Am I marketing this in the way that I believe is honest? Am I doing what I'm saying I think other people should do as well? Am I practicing what I'm preaching, or am I being a total hypocrite? So I want to make sure that how I market and sell and promote and build, launch, and serve you guys is in line with what I want to do with marketing, honestly. And I believe that I'm like 90, maybe 85% of the way there. I know there's some stuff in the emails and deadline timers and stuff that I need to fix. But I'm also wondering about sorry, I got distracted by comments. I'll be right back in the comments section. I got to get back in here. What was I saying? Scatterbrain today. Another alternative I'm thinking of is having I don't know, honestly, it could be a membership, like an annual thing with like a really reasonable fee. It's kind of like what's happening here in the Mastermind for like a reasonable fee, but something that's like actually profitable with the amount of time I'm going to put in, where I just have a series of, maybe it might be some courses, maybe not a course, maybe not community, something that I don't know. It's just like I'm trying to figure this out right now. So I've had thoughts of doing a membership. I've had thoughts of just doing a one-time fee. I've had thoughts of doing a annual membership that you just get access to, very similar to this. Whether this becomes that, I'm not really sure. I'm still working through this. But yeah, so I'm working on it. Also services, my consulting, my marketing consulting, my doing web development program, like using my small agency, which is really just me and a couple people. I might reintegrate that. So if someone wants, if there's like a particular niche, I'm still working out, okay, who would I serve if I'm going to reintegrate myself into the consulting and web design marketing world, doing services, how would I want to do that and take my own advice? So that would be another way. So yeah, just some thoughts. Let me see what's happening in the comments. So yeah, Michael, are you creating a website with a membership structure? Still working on it. think short form is perfect, especially for a solo show. Yes, I will probably have some interviews here and there, but I don't want it to be an interview show. Everybody does that. And I don't know if I'd be able to contribute anything much different, but maybe segments with like short interviews. I'm not sure. Aaron says, consider yourself validated. Julie, I loved your Broadway bits. I gotta incorporate that. I gotta incorporate that I am a musical theater geek. I went to musical theater school, that I am a performer, that I am silly, that I'm a dad, that I'm a gentleman, that I'm all these things. You know, like, how can I incorporate who Brad is into this? Because that's the only way I can be different in it. Because there's a lot of marketing podcasts out there. And I just got to do it my way. All right, so Patrick, I love it. Find that in the digital marketing world, you often feel like you need to promise the moon just to get your foot in the door. Yes, that's because the bar is being set higher and higher and higher. If you subscribe to that side of things, where you have to say you're going to make 7 figures, you're going to make 8 figures, you're going to be rich, you're going to buy Lamborghinis, you're going to buy this, you're going to have a Tesla. I don't know. It's just like selling a lifestyle and inflating that and inflating the ego, and everybody's still depressed and sad. So I just need to find a way to make you laugh and give you something honest and give you the real nitty gritty details that, hey, business is hard. You might fail. Oh, well. Life is hard and you might die tomorrow. So, right? Is what it is. Let's see. Agreed, Patrick says, Alea, cool. Shweta says, hello, everyone. I'm not late. I'm just my first time, so I was trying to figure it all out. Good podcast, Brad. Thank you. Aaron, will you share how you market your podcast so that other people with podcasts, cough, cough, me, can try the strategies out? Of course. Yes, I'm going to incorporate. Basically, I want to incorporate everything that I can and want to in the Marketing Honestly show / content website, which could include podcasting. How should you incorporate a podcast into your business? Here's my experience. Here's what other people say. And I can bring on other experts who are actual experts in the field rather than me, posing as one, and just say, hey, why is this important? Should people do it? And how can we make podcasts different? And how can we market them? And yeah, cool. Alea, welcome. Shweta, I was just responding to your comment. Happy you made it in. Awesome. Shweta says, perhaps a more gender neutral language might help instead of he or she. It's 1 a.m. in India, so apologies if I'm a little slow on the uptake. No worries. That's my take on it. I mean, I guess I could use they, I could use he, she. I read a Cesar Millan book a long time ago about, the dog whisperer. And he did an interesting convention in his book. This is a long time ago, like 10 years ago, where he switched his examples. And I do this too in my writing where I can. And even in the course, where I like to toggle back and forth between he and she. He does that. So when he talks about a specific dog, instead of using vague they, he'll say she does this. And when she behaves in this way, you might want to consider doing this with her. And then the next example, a new dog, he'll say, when he struggles with this or when he is whining about this, then consider trying this with him. And he toggles back and forth. So I've actually found myself in my courses and my writing when I use examples to do a similar thing. So the first one you heard was he. Probably the next one might say she. So that's kind of, by no means is it me trying to offend anybody. But what I've found nowadays is that anything you say could be taken offense. Anyone could take offense to anything you say. So you can't really control people's reactions to what you say. You could just kind of lead with who you are and honesty. So I'm not trying to offend anyone, but it is what it is, right? Okay. Michael, I think I follow. So initially Marketing Honestly is planned to be a resource library. Kind of, yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of meant to be a resource library, but I don't want to just be like churning out content and stuff like that. Like I want to primarily serve my customers and students and clients. Use it as a way to market myself and make my brand more cohesive around the Marketing Honestly brand. And kind of get in the trenches with businesses and independent solo businesses and freelancers, helping them, whether it's me providing a course like this or a community like this, or possibly even like services. So doing consulting, helping, taking a more advisory and consulting role in your business, helping you, coaching you along certain things, consulting you at certain stages, or, getting in there and actually building out your marketing plan and things like that. Stuff that I teach people how to do. I do that as well. I don't just teach it because it's popular to teach it. I actually do it as well. And so marketing honestly would be kind of a resource library. Yes. My umbrella brand is what my idea and thought is, but also a way to use that as a way to market my products and services. Make sense? Let's see. Alea, could marketing honestly be a part of the mastermind? Tell me about that thought, Alea. That's a great idea. I'm curious about what you mean by that. Do you mean like the podcast? I just want you to clarify. I'm not really sure because the terminology marketing honestly is very new now. So, thank you, Patrick. Let's see. I want to be interviewed. Of course. I would love to interview you, Alea. And anybody who wants to be interviewed but would be in line with a podcast topic. So if you have a question to submit or we want to do like a short segment, I'd like to make it kind of a variety type show, something interesting, different take on business, something funny. So yeah, Aaron, I got to hop off, Brad. I love all, and I'm cheering you on. Thanks, man. Catch you later. Patrick says, have you thought of automating the marketing journey like a multi-step form that tracks your progress and helps identify where you need to focus your efforts? Could you clarify what you mean? I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Have you thought of automating the marketing journey? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not really sure what you mean. I do a lot of automation in my marketing, but I'm not sure if that's what you're saying. Brandy, I often feel that marketing is one of the greatest challenges because I want to do it because I won't do it underhanded. Your new direction is awesome and exactly what I've never found anywhere else. And that's what I'm really excited about because I approached this marketing honestly less of a strategic Sorry, I'm getting distracted by comments again. The idea behind marketing honestly was less of a strategic thing. Billy, shush. It was less of a strategic thing, like, where is there a gap in the market? And that's nothing wrong with that. You find a market, you find a deficiency, and you solve the problem, you validate it, and you kind of go do the dance. But I was just like, I don't know, I got to do things different. I'm not excited about what I do anymore, at least the way I do it. And my mind has been too focused on success and money and all this sort of stuff. And I got to do something different, even if it's just a way for me to express something authentic, stop hiding who I am, stop, trying to do stuff that I don't care about, stop marketing the way that I don't believe in. And then I just kind of was like, I don't know. I feel like this is something that people need. At least it's what I need. And I kind of scratched my own itch in a way, but I knew that there were a few other people. So when I see that people say I've never seen something like this before. Although I know that there are people who are in the honesty space, as I've kind of referenced in my own head, they have their own take on it. Sometimes people they have their own YouTube channels or blogs, or they just lead with honesty. But I also haven't really seen something that's like a marketing honestly sort of, what I'm trying to do, my idea anyway. Let's see. Leia, the podcast as the Mastermind already has a yearly membership fee. The podcast as the Mastermind already has a yearly membership fee. Monique, need to run. Catch you later. Is it not under the FF brand? The Mastermind is the resource library, or could it be? These are good thoughts, good questions. I would like to. In the past, for a few years now, Freelancing Freedom has kind of been my main umbrella brand, where new content, new materials, new products were kind of marketed under. But I feel the pull to shift that and to shift it to Marketing Honestly being more of the brand. That's kind of where my intuition is kind of pulling me. Now, that's not to say that this is going to be totally separate, whether I rename the Mastermind or, the brand itself. I'm not sure. This is where it's kind of new. But I'm not going to forget you guys, and that you have paid good money to be here and are part of the annual membership. So I'm not thinking like, okay, well, how do I take my Freelancing Freedom people and just push them off to the side and just create something new and then get them to go over there? That's not really what I'm trying to do here. So yeah, I get that you've paid money to be here in the launch program, and you have the annual Freelancing Freedom membership. So the annual community. The way I've thought about it, and I think maybe what you're getting at there, Leia, is people are already in the annual membership. Is there a way that we can just use the annual membership that people are already a part of as the part of the monetization strategy of Marketing Honestly? Perhaps. That's kind of what I was like. I don't want to have multiple communities and things going on. I kind of just want to have a place, or maybe a couple places, but I don't want to have to manage 3, 4, 5 communities, tons of courses. I'd like to keep it kind of unified where possible, knowing that certain things have to be separate, but I'm trying to keep things under one place. So I don't think I'd like to see Marketing Honestly be absorbed into Freelancing Freedom. Rather, it would be the other way around. So that's just kind of what I'm playing with in my head. Let's see, Patrick, instead of just having videos, courses, and content, you can integrate Typeform to get more feedback on each section of the course. I see what you're saying. I do that. I might have taken some of them out, but I have at the end of each module in the Freelancing Freedom Launch course, at the end, you can rate it and then leave a comment, and then I can see satisfaction levels in each module. I can also see how much of each module people are watching. Do I do much with that data? Not necessarily, unless I initially launch something and I want to see what the initial feedback is. But I have some data on that. So it's a good thought, because I actually am doing something like that, but it's a cool idea. Yeah. So it says, or integrating a checklist where people can take their progress as they take the course. I think the Teachable platform that I use does that, where you can, complete a lesson and keep going through. And then I can see when people are actually doing the course. So I can see, if I were to go to your dashboard, Patrick, I can privately see that you've taken a certain amount of the course, and the last time you logged in, things like that. Just basic information to help me as an e-learning store owner. Darren, I agree. Marketing Honestly is the umbrella. Most freelancers market, but not all marketers freelance. And that's what I found. Yes, I love that. That's what I found with Freelancing Freedom, is that it's limited me to freelancing related topics. And I know that's broad. Freelancing is broad, but it's limited me in a way that creatively and with my prospective customers, I had lots of email exchanges and phone calls where people were like, "Oh, but I'm not a freelancer." I'm like, "Oh, no, but this isn't just for freelancers." I was like, "But it says Freelancing Freedom." Like, it does. And it initially was that it was, how web designers can be freelancers. But then I realized that a lot of web designers just want to get Fiverr gigs. And then I just thought, I got to run with it. Marketing Honestly just makes more sense to me. I've enjoyed working with the Freelancing Freedom brand and seeing what I could explore with that, but I find this really rigid boundaries in that it's been really hard to break out of. Whereas Marketing Honestly, it's like, I kind of feel more liberated, where I can go, I can talk about how to ethically use email marketing or personalization, or how moral is it to track somebody's progress and use that data to sell them something? Things like that, where you're like, what does that have to do with freelancing? You're like, well, I mean, you can bet. So that's where Marketing Honestly makes more sense to me. So for me, yeah, it's like Freelancing Freedom would absorb into Marketing Honestly, and however I manage or sunset or ninja my Freelancing Freedom into Marketing Honestly, I'm not sure, but you're going to watch it happen. And I'm excited about it. Let's see. My concern about the podcast is that they won't be vlogs with the captions, so then there's no way for me to understand what you're saying in your podcast. So my question makes sense. Alea says, Harold, we can make captions for the podcast, maybe more in a blog format, and see what Brad says. Yep. Watch this, Harold. Watch this. Watch it. So first of all, yes, there's going to be transcripts. There's going to be show notes. But so far, my plan with podcasting is basically just mirroring a post. So most of them are going to have an associated blog post that I use as essentially the basis for the episode. So watch this. Let me just fire up my virtual server here. And I'm going to show you the Marketing Honestly local dev website that I'm working on. Okay. Hold up. Okay. Whoa, everybody disappeared. Where'd you go? Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to see. What do you see? There it is. Okay, watch this. So this is the website. This is the local dev version. It's going to be live soon. So far, things are looking good. I need to bring this up. Boom, boom. There we go. So yeah, it's going to be live soon, but this is what it looks like. Give you a quick little walkthrough. You can see here just a little new sort of where to start, manifesto, guides, and articles. These are the latest articles that I've been writing. I have a few of them now, and I'll go into that in a quick sec. Free guides and training. So these are the guides I talked about. So we have articles, guides, and then courses. Now, these are just kind of placeholders right now. I got launch course, code college, and then ConvertKit course. There is no ConvertKit course yet, but maybe, I'm not sure. It might just be one thing. It might just be like the Marketing Honestly Academy, and it's like a membership and that's it. And I can just focus on that, or maybe not a membership. And I know, Darren, you had a question about memberships / one-off courses, which I'm going to get into. That was a good question. Good segue in a moment. And then tools and resources. These are all affiliate links so that you just get passive income in a way that doesn't actually ask anybody for any money. So, ethically using affiliate marketing, for example. And I know, Harold, I'm going to show you what I talked about in a sec. I'm getting sidetracked. I'm just playing with the fun, shiny thing. Okay, so you can see these are things that I actually use and care about and can support, not just like, hey, how can I make money off of popular tools, which is a lot of affiliate marketing. But how do I ethically use affiliate marketing? And that's what I'm trying to do, which means there's going to be less stuff on here, I think, although I do use a lot of tools. So as you can see here, now, what you were saying there, Harold, how am I going to, and then Alea saying, maybe we could do a blog post or something like that. Yep. Watch this. There was a post. Let's go to my back end here. Let's see, articles. So I'm working on this one. So the podcast episode that everybody just heard. Now, Harold, you didn't hear it, obviously, but what would happen is that there would be an associated blog post or transcript or show notes. Also on YouTube, the plan is to upload it to YouTube, ideally automatically, and the transcript, the closed captions will play in under it, and it will just be an image. Yeah. So here's kind of an example of what it would look like. So the one you just saw, the first episode, is actually from a blog post called Coaches Coaching Coaches. Where did all the real entrepreneurs go? And then you got a cowboy on a horse. And I actually found out that this stock image is based on a ranch not far from where I live. So I thought that was cool. I'm supporting local, although the photographer was from Norway. So I don't know. Anyway, so this is literally what I wrote and used as the basis of the podcast episode. Okay. Same with this. This is another podcast episode, but it's a blog post. Same with this one. So in some cases, maybe many cases, I'm going to write it first and then I'm going to record it as a podcast episode. In other cases, like interviews or maybe walkthroughs or, I don't know, variety shows or just me being weird, I probably won't have a podcast, but there will be show notes and there will be, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. So let me take this off so you don't have to look at my screen anymore. Make sense? Let's see. Okay, I think I got what you're saying, Brad. Awesome. Michael says, Brad, are you, oh, I love it. You can't do anything dev wise without the devs like trying to pay attention and saying, what's your stack, Brad? Tell me what your stack is. No, man, I'm using Statamic. Statamic.com, Statamic.com. Check it out. That's by Jack McDade. And he is another person in the honesty space. And that's the reason why I use Statamic. Because I like it. It's fun to play with. I'm not using WordPress, which was hard. I spent literally 20 days learning Statamic 2. And now there's Statamic 3 beta. And I have to relearn a whole bunch of stuff, blah, 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 whatever. But it's really a really fun dev environment, really simple, not recommended for designers who can't code, but highly recommended for developers who want an alternative to WordPress, a headless CMS. But I just got a virtual server running on my machine, and I'm just using Statamic, which is very fun. So it's a flat file CMS. There's no database. Everything is just in markdown files. It's so much fun. So much fun. Okay, let me see. Shweta, am I, please correct me if I'm saying your name incorrectly. I'm saying Shweta, but I do not want to butcher your name if that is not how you pronounce it. Can you confirm if that's the case? You say your strategy to alternate between he or she is sound, so no argument there. However, taking offense makes it sound like it's a personal issue, whereas I was talking about inclusivity, which is a more broad-based concept and something you believe too, which is how I'm here. I appreciate your take. And well worded. You are a writer, and I can tell. Yeah, so I guess, I don't know. We live in a world where there's people on both sides of any spectrum, politically, personally, and there's always going to be somebody who doesn't like what you say. I don't set out to hurt anybody's feelings. So the way that I feel like I'm being straightforward and clear and honest and just, I don't know, inclusive is just alternating. But again, I write about marketing and silliness and not about social issues. Let's see. Statamic. Yes, check out Statamic. Let's see. Michael, LOL, right. Okay. Now, there were a couple questions that I want to address. Okay. Darren, your question here was, instead of selling individual courses or building a master course, I've been considering working a membership similar to this Mastermind. This would be after I finish automating my marketing machine. It would have weekly office hours like we have, a community, and access to all of my courses. Question 1, how have you liked offering the Code College membership in comparison to selling the courses individually or having a master course like the Launch program? Question 2, how are you liking Mighty Networks? It is attractive because it can have the membership and all of the courses integrated. Cool. So I did say I can't wait to get in this one, and I did mean what I said, and I'm going to get into it a little bit here to answer your question. What I'll do is I'll give you some pros and cons of both. And then maybe you can, and I'll give you my kind of thoughts as well on the way, because I've done both. So some pros of selling individual courses is that you create it once and then it's done. You can create a really good product and just kind of keep that product up to date, and that's it. Sell it for a good price, not too low, not too high, something fair, obviously. And that could be $10, it could be $2,000. I'm not sure, but it depends on what it is and many factors. Something I address in marketing, honestly, as well. So the pro of standalone courses is you can create a few courses and that's about it. Put your marketing efforts toward one good thing or a couple good things, and it fits nicely within your marketing plan of you got a main service and you got an introductory product that you can sell for a lower ticket price, and then a recurring revenue model like retainers and such, or consulting, subscriptions, lots of different things. The cons of one-off courses is that often your one-off course covers a topic or an area of expertise or teaches one specific thing, and it's like a unit, it's like a book. But then you realize, I gotta add more to it. There's a new topic or there's an update that is a totally new category, and it's going to and it's going to be a lot of work, and it would do better if it was just its own standalone course. So do I incorporate it in the original course and reconfigure the curriculum and then rebrand it or remarket it? Do I give it away for free to the current people, or do I give it at a discount? So then you got all these questions of this new material that you feel like you ought to include in it. And then it gets confusing. Do you up your price? What do you do? A lot of times you end up creating a new product. So in your case, Darren, with apps, you might be like, how to design your app. And that's your course, designing the app, the UX and UI of an app. But then you're like, oh, but I also can teach about coding the app without code, or coding the app and how to code it properly. But this is a design course. Do I put it in there for free? Doesn't make sense. Is it just kind of like you're going all over the place? So you create another course, and then you have another course to market. So now you have 2 products, which require updates on both, which have their own customers, which have support that you need to provide. And then you have a 3rd course, and then a 4th. And all of a sudden you got a big catalog of courses that you either have to update or just sunset or just let them be. And it can be time consuming, and difficult to market. Some people can do it really well, and it's like you have your course and they're good at updating it. It's concise, and it's like, hey, are you a beginner? Take this course. Hey, are you a designer looking to do this? Perfect. Try this course. Or maybe you're like this and you're trying to do this thing. Take this course. But when you're a one-person shop, creating content, filming, editing, marketing, all this sort of stuff, it gets really hard. So that's the cons of standalone products and courses. Now, the pros, no, sorry, was that cons? Yeah, so those are the pros and cons of standalone courses. Okay. Now, the pros of a membership is that you have one product, which is your membership, and whatever is in the membership is just a part of the product. You don't have to market the individual products. You just market the membership itself, the academy itself, the thing itself, the community, whatever it is, the product, which is a umbrella that covers a bunch of topics. And then you can have a series of courses. You can have a few courses. You can have, a couple main courses and just have it be a community. And the main thing they pay for is the community aspect with some supplemental training. Some people approach memberships and subscription-based education as the community first and then supplemental training for the community, which I like that model because it's easy to be a part of a community like this and then provide supplemental training without having to create these big blockbuster courses. Other way of doing memberships is creating core training and then building a community as a secondary benefit, which is hard to do in the sense that now you still have to update all these things. Certain things are going to go out of date, and you're on a little bit of a content treadmill. So when you're focused primarily on the content rather than the experience of the community, and you provide like a weekly call like this, or a monthly call, or if you have a couple people helping you out, maybe like a bi-weekly call or like a couple times a week, then it's easier to maintain, and you can provide supplemental training that's smaller in essence. Or it could just be challenges. So you can have, instead of actual pre-filmed videos, it could just be live every Thursday like me, or Monday or whatever. You just do a live challenge. And then that week, that's the challenge for the community. Whether you participate or not is up to you. Events, online events, offline events. Obviously not right now because everyone's canceled. But, moving forward, eventually offline events. So those are the pros of the membership, and I also kind of peppered in the cons, which is you got a lot to update. There's a lot that when you do the membership thing, you kind of have to commit to the membership thing, which is like keeping things fresh, keeping things up to date, keeping yourself present. Whereas it's a very active thing to keep people paying month over month or year over year. And if you don't do much, your subscriptions will teeter off. But it's easy to sell memberships in the sense that usually they're lower priced, like a monthly low membership or an annual low membership, but you're hoping that they will stay longer, or they will purchase other things as a part of the membership, like your services or other products or books or whatever, swag. But it's harder to convince somebody to give you their credit card on a regular basis, whereas they just have a flat fee. That's more appealing. Flat fees you have to charge higher. Ongoing fees you can charge more mass market prices, hoping that they will stay longer. Does that make sense? And then yes, Mighty Networks. Leia is using Mighty Networks for her courses, and she's so far said good things about it. I like the idea, as you said here, Darren, that I like it's attractive. Mighty Networks is attractive in the sense that you can have a membership and courses integrated. I like that as well. My camera is about to die. The battery doesn't last very long on this, unfortunately. I like Mighty Networks for the sense that you can keep it all in one place. The community, the membership, the courses. What I don't know if I like about it, and this is just in my own thoughts or opinions, is that I'd like more control. Teachable's pretty good about that. There's a lot of features in Teachable. There's a lot of things I don't like about it as well. And, I don't know. Probably your best bet is to use something like Teachable or Mighty Networks, especially if you want the community and the courses to be closely related, especially if you're doing like a subscription-based membership. It's nice to have it in one place. I think my kind of hesitation is I like the idea of having more control and ownership over everything, but that also means you have to kind of build your own thing or do it in WordPress or something like that. So I'd probably recommend Mighty Networks for something like that, or Teachable, because I know Teachable can do it really well. And apparently Mighty Networks can too. All right. Alea, however, says the video embedding is limited. So if you're video heavy, your video embedding is limited, whereas doing Teachable, it's very flexible. And if you were just to do your own kind of like build something yourself and put it behind like a paywall and put it behind like a password protected website, then you can do whatever you want. You can use Vimeo, you can use Wistia, you can use YouTube, right? So yeah, is that a good answer for you there, Darren? I hope so. Okay. Let me see if there are any other questions before I wrap here. Ante Thomas says, hey folks, I recently switched from PC to Mac. I've also purchased Sketch, the Sketch app. Can you recommend tutorials so I can learn the basics of Sketch? I plan to work on some logos for myself and clients. Good question. Any recommendations are very welcome. I don't actually know. I don't use Sketch. I've used it a couple times and I know lots of designers really love it. Couldn't recommend anything because I don't really know. I couldn't give you an honest, check this person out. So anyone has any recommendations for Ante Thomas, throw it at him. All right. Okay, so Shweta says, I'd like to share my unfair advantage and get feedback on whether it'll work or if I should be looking in a different direction. Here it is. As a publishing professional, I've had 20 years of experience working with all kinds of content. Therefore, I have the ability to grasp unfamiliar concepts and new ideas more easily. It also makes me more capable of articulating a messaging and communicating both visually and in words with more accuracy and appeal. I'm also meticulous, efficient, and pretty good with deadlines. Let's see. So sharing your unfair advantage and getting feedback. I think it's what the practice of trying to understand your unfair advantages is mostly for an internal understanding of why you're different. Why is what you do important? Why does it matter? Why, what do you bring to the table that, a copycat or a lookalike doesn't bring to the table? So, and I think that's fair. You have a lot of experience working with a broad variety of content as a writer and a publishing professional, and grasping unfamiliar concepts and new ideas. You can do that more easily. So you bring experience to the table with a variety of content, and that's good. And it makes you more capable of articulating and communicating. So, and your meticulous nature, you're efficient, and you're pretty good with deadlines. So yeah, no, I think that is an excellent unfair advantage. And again, it's mainly for you. It's mainly to understand for your own personal validation, why should they choose me? Why should a client hire me? And also to be able to pull it out of your back pocket. If somebody asks you, a prospect is on the phone or an email and says, why would I hire you when I could just hire another person who does a similar thing for cheaper? Then you pull it out of your back pocket, right? And being straightforward and honest about why you're different, and don't be afraid to toot your own horn in an honest way. What makes you awesome? And there's a lot. She also asked, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by the tasks outlined in Module 1, Workbook 1, especially goal setting for the business, money, and finances. I can certainly put down my goals, but I'm not sure if I know yet what will get me there. It's kind of why I'm here, to figure out how to get there. So how do I do this task? That's a good question, and I know Alea answered that, so I really appreciate that, Alea, for answering that. Alea is really good at helping people stay on track and helping them understand how to best utilize the resources that we provide in the course. And so yeah, she answered that she articulated the answer very well. And yes, so take steps. Let me see if I can just pull it up. Don't overthink it. Module 1 is about setting your goals for now. You're absolutely correct. The rest of the course will teach you how to get there. So don't worry about it at this moment. Create goals and milestones within your professional journey is a good practice because it allows you to measure growth. So it's okay if you don't know entirely how to get there. Break it down and start sketching out a roadmap. That's the plan. And then we want to help you get there so that when you're like 2 weeks in, 2 months in, and you come to an office hours and you're like, all right, so I'm built my website's live. I got 3 prospects. I got this funnel set up and I'm in this situation. So we're like, ooh, you're making progress and you're building towards what your goals are, and then we can help you tick off the boxes along the way. So it's very important that you understand where you're trying to go first. And I can't tell you where that is. You got to determine that for yourself. And then you bring that to us and the course and the community, and we can kind of help, cheerlead you along the way and provide resources and, the best that we can possibly provide within our scope of knowledge. Let's see. Okay. You say that, you're pronouncing my name just fine. The we is usually a little longer, like way, and the T is a little more flat, but it's not a sound in Canadian American English. But I'm not fussed about the way you're saying it. I want to say it right. I want to be able to say it right. I'm looking at the camera. The camera's dead, Brad. Don't look at that. Okay. So is it more like Shweda? Let me know. Did I get it? I want to get it right. I don't want to mispronounce your name. I mean, I get that there's different accents and different ways that people say things that roll off the tongue and don't roll off the tongue. But I mean, I know if someone were to call me like, I don't know, I was going to say Brad, but I'd actually really like that if somebody called me Brad. So I don't know. Is it Shweda? Because I want to get it right. I like knowing who my students are and how to say their names. All right. Darren, I appreciate your thoughts. All the platforms have cons, but while I'm not full-time, I'm not going to create anything custom. I wouldn't recommend custom. It was just my own kind of spitballing. I wouldn't do custom either. I just find a tool that would do the best job with what you're trying to do. And I think that would be teachable. But there's also Podia. But I've also heard bad things about Podia. And I haven't used it other than as a student and right? Okay, so Darren, Leah, thanks for your insight. I'm already on YouTube, so maybe that won't be too much of a headache. I'll probably check it out, their 14-day trial, when I get some spare time. Vimeo. Yeah, Vimeo. Right. I upgraded my Vimeo account to protect my videos. Basically, the video cannot be viewed unless it's on a certain URL. People call me Aliyah. Like Aulia. Non-Star Wars fans. Yeah. Hello, Aulia. Hello, Aulia. Aulia. Yeah, non-Star Wars fans, for sure. Well, I'm getting very bright here. A little better. I look at Podia. It's not as pretty. Yeah, no, it's not as pretty. Yeah, man, I'm thinking teachable. I don't think there's one like perfect catch-all platform out there. So just go with what's going to work best for you. Teachable's got a ton of features that maybe you don't even need. I've been wondering how Vimeo Pro works for that. I have a Vimeo Pro account too, and I think it works pretty well, but I don't use it for a lot of like stuff that needs to be hidden. It's just mostly for like ads or marketing videos and stuff. To be honest, I'd rather not pay for it, but oh well. Okay, any more questions? Let me see. I should address. Good question. We already listened to the episode. I answered Darren and Ante and Shweta, hopefully. Hopefully I'm getting that right. Right? Okay. Well, folks, I think that's good. So I'm excited about this progress with Marketing Honestly. I'm happy to hear that so far it seems like it's kind of on track with it, that it seems enjoyable, that you like the idea, and that in practice, hearing the first episode, it would, it's what you're looking for in that sort of content. And I'm pretty excited about it. I'm really actually quite excited about it and nervous about it, because it's like, I'm doing something different, kind of going out on a limb here and being a lot more authentically who I am. So I'm excited about it. I'm very happy. So I will be publishing that soon. I have a few episodes already ready, and I am strongly encouraging you guys and gals to let me know what you want to hear on it. And if you want to be on the show in aspects of it, I'm open to all of it right now. If you have any people that you want me to reach out to and say, hey, get on my show, and I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions that maybe will make you feel weird. I don't know. But yeah, I'm open to your suggestions. I want your questions. I want to dig into things that you're curious about. And I'm not looking for it to be a negative thing, like exposing the dirty side of online courses and marketing, blah, blah, blah. No, I want it to be a positive thing. I want it to be a positive resource where you can go, oh, there's a good way and a bad way of doing this. I'm going to go the good way. Okay. So please let me know your questions. And when I publish it, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to spam you about it. I'm not actually going to spam you about it. That wouldn't be in line with what I'm trying to do here, but I am going to let you know with a strongly worded email to listen to it and to leave a review and to do whatever you do to help me get on the page where everybody's doing marketing podcasts, and hopefully mine can be different. So let's see. Couple last minute things. Thank you, says Michael. Thanks, Alea. Close, very close. Okay. Can you record it? Can you record your name just like in audio or video and just like send it to us? I want to get it right, because that'll be my goal for next week. Let's see. I love the rolled R's though. I shot you a question in email, says Michael. Okay. Leah says, I don't think Teachable has a community. If it did, I would use it. It is what sold me on Mighty Networks. Yeah. Teachable doesn't have community. You just have to use Facebook or Mighty Networks, which is another purchase. So if you want to save purchases, Mighty Networks, or integrate your own community somehow, which is like, I don't know, but that's the argument for Mighty Networks. If it's community based and that's a strong piece, I love the Mighty Networks community aspect. I love it. I don't know if you guys do. I think you do. So yeah. Okay. Michael, you had a question. I'm going to check really quick to see if I can find it very quickly. Oh, you shot me a question about suggestions. Okay, sweet. Yeah. Okay, so I got your email there, quickly read it, and that's something that I would love to incorporate and cover in a segment of the show. That'd be awesome. So I really appreciate that. Thanks for sharing that, for sharing your suggestions. Have a good, productive week, fam, says Darren. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all your time. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out for the hour. And yeah, I'll see you next week. And hopefully by next week, we might have a live podcast and live website. So that would be great. Alea says, Brad should use his powers and speak to Teachable about adding a community. I have been known to strong arm both Teachable and ConvertKit into adding features that I wanted that are now major features. I don't take credit for them. I just know that I wrote some strongly worded tweets at both CEOs, who, I might add, personally reached out to me to join their platforms before they were popular. I'm the original ConvertKit hipster and the original teachable hipster. It was called Fedora when I used it. Actually, it was called app.usefedora.com or something. Both Encore and Nathan reached out to me before they were like major, awesome, cool tech companies, software as a services, said, hey, Brad, I see that you are doing the online thing and you have Udemy students and we'd really love you on our platform. And I was like, sure, give me a free trial for longer than everybody else and I'll see. And then they were like, sure. And so anyway, Julie, appreciate you, Brad. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's see. Michael, no, it's not for the forum. Don't worry. I didn't read it out loud. It's for the podcast. Thank you, Sis Harold. Thank you. I'm going to say Shweta, but I'm getting it wrong. So it's irking me right now. So Shweta says, yes, thanks, Brad and Alea, for answering my questions. Of course. Total pleasure. That's what I do week in, week out for you guys. And I really appreciate you. So thank you for coming. Darren, I want to see your haircut with your shaved sides. I want to know how to pronounce your name properly. Shweta. And anybody else, please just send me lots of emails and messages about what you want me to talk about and joke about and dig into and teach in the podcast and on the website, because it's yours just as much as it's mine. Kind of. Actually, I own it, but I want you to be a part of it in a meaningful way. So you guys are awesome. Thanks again. And I'll catch you next time.